Hello again, one and all. This is Jason, here for another episode or edition of Tunes and Talk. I hope you're all well and staying safe and healthy and not all stressed out. I know there's a lot of stress going around these days. I actually returned to work at my day job last Sunday, an experience far more horrific and appalling than I could possibly have imagined, despite the fact that at my place of employment we are going over and above the required safety protocols. Unfortunately, our clientele is not, to say the least. And so having to work that first week really left a bad taste in my mouth. So I need a little tunes and talk, a little music to sort of wash that away, and glad to be able to spend this time with you. And we're gonna kick things off tonight with a little Crystal Gayle song that I think we can all sort of relate to at the moment. You'll see what I mean when you hear it. I've got to tell you, I've been racking my brain, hoping to find a way out. I've had enough of this continual rain. Changes are coming, no doubt. It's been a too long time with no peace of mind, and I'm ready for the times to get better. You seem to want from me what I cannot give. I feel so lonesome at times. I have a dream that I wish I could live. It's burning holes in my mind. It's been a too long time with no peace of mind, and I'm ready for the times to get better. It's been a too long time with no peace of mind, and I'm ready for the times to get better. What did I tell you? I think we're all ready for the times to get better. Between COVID and social unrest and murder hornets and something in Florida called puss caterpillars that are apparently making a comeback, that have a stinger hidden under all this caterpillar fur that apparently emits a venom that's so toxic and causes enough pain to where morphine won't touch it. I'm thinking, well, now those are probably going to be the caterpillars that mate with the murder hornets so they can fly around like big fuzzy bombs with wings and a stinger at both ends. Yeah, that's next. That's July. Or you never know. July could be the start of something wonderful. And I hope it is for all of us. I think we're about due, don't you? Here is a little song, one of my favorite songs by the late Jim Croce. You know, Jim Croce was one of those singers that had so much more to say, I think. I was taken at such a young age, and sort of at the height of his career, and kind of wonder what he would have to say were he still around. But this is a sweet song, one of my favorites of his. Well, I know it's kind of late. I hope I didn't wake you. What I've got to say can't wait. I know you'd understand. Every time I try to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Yeah, I know it's kind of strange, but every time I'm near you, I just run out of things to say. I know you'd understand. Every time I try to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Every time was right, all the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Well, I know it's kind of late. I hope I didn't wake you, but there's something that I just gotta say. I know you would understand. Every time I try to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Jim Croce. You probably remember him best for Bad Leroy Brown, Baddest Man in the Whole Damn Town, and Time in a Bottle. If I could save time in a bottle, yeah. Lots of good music from that curly-headed, mustachioed man. This next couple of songs, I think. Oh, well, actually we have a set of three, right? All along the same theme. This first one, and I may have done this first one before, I've done so many of these little tunes and talk mini concerts now. I think this is number 12, 13, 14. And I'm sort of kind of trying to keep track of what I've done so I don't do many repeats, if any, on the songs, at least not yet. I'm gonna probably have to start that pretty soon. But this is a song that was recorded by Leanne Womack, and it's about when your sweetheart is in love with somebody else, and you're still in love with your sweetheart. One of those sort of pre-breakup songs. And then we've got a little post-breakup song, courtesy of Dolly Parton, when the break is still fresh and everything's raw. And then we have a classic, which is, oh, I am so over that breakup, and now you're crawling back. Not gonna happen. So it's sort of a little tri-play, a little three-play on these thematic songs. Here we go. Heading toward the breakup. You don't know me, but I know who you are. 9 to 5, sit down. Do I look familiar? If I don't, well, I should. I'm sure you've seen me around. I know you've probably heard my name, though we've not been introduced. I'm the fool in love with a fool who's still in love with you. If you got a minute, I'll buy you a drink. I've got something to say. It might sound crazy, but last night in his sleep, I heard him call out your name. This ain't the first time he's done it before, and it's hard to face the truth. But I'm the fool in love with a fool who's still in love with you. I know love is a fragile thing. I'm trying hard to make it last, but it ain't easy holding on to my dreams when he's holding on to the past. Just one more thing before I go. I'm not here to put you down, but you don't love him, that's a fact. I've seen you around, but you hold his heart in the palm of your hand, and it's breaking mine in two. 'Cause I'm the fool in love with a fool who's still in love with you. Yes, I'm the fool in love with a fool who's still in love with you. Oh, I tell you what. I think love's made fools out of all of us at least once, right? If not, either you're very lucky or just wait, your turn's coming. But it's those scars that form on our emotional heart that sort of armor us against future hurts. At least that's what I've told myself in years past, and I think it's largely true. And we get a little life mileage on our odometer, a little wisdom if we're lucky, and we soldier on, and hopefully our experiences get better. But that's not the case so much with this next song. This next song is one that was written by Dolly Parton, and it was for the movie called Straight Talk. Now, if you have never seen the movie Straight Talk, see it. It is such a fun movie and a sweet movie. And I think certainly one of Dolly's best, and I'm a Dolly Parton fan. Her music, her movies, just the woman in general. And James Woods was her co-star, who's quite a good actor, even though apparently he has revealed himself for the past 10, 15 years anyway to be a major, this is the American Sign Language sign for asshole. But that's neither here nor there. This was before all that. This is long before all that. And in the movie, Dolly her character falls for his character, and then things fall apart. This is the Fall Apart song. The Falling in Love song is called Burning. And one of these nights I'll do that. It's a great song, and it is in my repertoire. This one's called Burning to Burned. And if you've ever been in a relationship where, you're just burning that fire so hot, and then afterwards, you've just been burned. And, it's funny. Straight Talk was one of only 2 movies that I ever saw in the theater that as soon as the show let out, I got in my car and immediately drove to the record store and bought the soundtrack from the movie. I bought it on cassette. It's that good. Dolly wrote all the songs, and outstanding soundtrack. So this one again is called Burning to Burned, and I hope I don't forget the lyrics because it's been years since I've sung it. You lied to me, I can't believe that I've been such a fool. I thought this time I might find someone who would play by the rules. My mind said no, but my heart said go. And again I made a wrong turn. Now here I stand, my heart in your hands, and I've gone from burning to burn. You'd think by now that I'd know how to keep this heart of mine safe. It goes to show you just never know. Who can you trust these days? How could I make the same mistake? Well, as far as I'm concerned, got myself to blame. Got too close to the flame. Now I've gone from burning to burn. Everyone knows the old saying goes that a fool in love never learns. Well, I guess I forgot, 'cause the fire was too hot. Now I've gone from burning to burn. Oh, I guess I forgot, 'cause the fire was too hot. Now I've gone from burning burn. I've said it before and I'll say it again. No songs do heartache like country songs. Forgive me as I pop and squeak and my voice comes and goes and gets raspy tonight like Peter Brady. But still allergy season, and I still have them, so. Funny thing, there's a website, I think it's called something else now. It used to be called metvlegends.org, but I think if you type that in, it will still take you to the website under the new name. And it's the most marvelous website. It is where all these interviews, just one-on-one interviews with celebrities, actors, writers, directors, producers through the past several decades of television are stored online. You can watch them, and some of them most of them are around a couple of hours. Some of them are 3, almost 4 hours. Phenomenal interviews talking about the careers of all these people and their stories, their behind-the-scenes stories, that kind of thing. And one of them, excellent interviews, was Sherwood Schwartz, who, of course, among other things, created Gilligan's Island and the Brady Bunch. And in his interview, he was talking about the Brady Bunch. As you remember, after a while, in probably the 5th season, or the 4th season, maybe they started singing, right? Sunshine Day, sha-na-na-na-na, all that stuff, in their matching outfits. And while the show was on hiatus before its final season, they actually did go out on a concert tour, the Brady Kids Sing. And he was talking, he said, oh yeah, all the kids could sing. Well, except Peter, Chris Knight, he couldn't sing, he didn't sing, he just opened his mouth, moved his mouth, all the other kids sang. I thought, I wonder if that's what spawned that episode about Peter losing his voice and kept hitting the bad notes as they were trying to record. But God love him, Christopher Knight, he's done all right for himself, but secret's out now. Anyway, I digress. I love pop culture. You know that by now. This next song is long after that breakup's over, and you've kind of reconciled yourself and moved on and made your peace, and you are done with that person. And all of a sudden, they have the nerve to show up and want you back. Well, this song's been recorded over and over and over. It's been covered by so many people. Linda Carter has a terrific version. Susan Boyle has a wonderful version. Michael Bublé has a version that I absolutely cannot stand. But the original, or at least the most iconic version, let me put it that way, the most iconic version, is from the fabulous Julie London, both an actress and a singer. And what makes her rendition so special, yeah, you know what's coming, what makes her rendition so special, she really gets it. Unlike the Michael Bublé version, which starts out with this huge, pounding, orchestral, symphonic thing that just builds and builds and builds until he opens his mouth and starts screaming and yelling and all this stupid crap that totally loses the message of the song. This is one of those, what I call 2 a.m. songs. It's in the bar, almost closing time. Just you and the bartender, just sort of sitting, peaceful, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and sits on the other bar stool beside you, and you look over, guess who's back? And it's not big, it's not loud, there's no symphony, there's no yelling and screaming. It's very simply a nice, quiet conversation, but a meaningful one. you say that you're lonely. You cry the whole night through. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now you say that you're lonely. Sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You told me, nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me. And now you say you love me. Just to prove that you do. Go on, cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. I cried a river. I cried a river over you. I cried a river. I cried a river. I cried a river over you. Nothing big, nothing loud, nothing splashy. Just a nice little F.U., right? See, Julie London got that. Susan Boyle, Linda Carter, they understand that. When they sing that song, they know what's being said. It's all a matter of reading between those lines, right? By the way, I don't think, I may have sung that once in my life. I think I've sung it once prior to that in my life, years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Which it probably shows, but hey. As I always come back to, I'm a guy singing in his bathroom where it is about 90 degrees in here right now with my AC off. This song, everybody knows it as one of Mama Cass Elliott's signature songs, if not the signature song for her. But it's actually been around a lot longer, I think since 1934. Oddly enough, Michael Bublé also covered this one. Actually did a fine job with it. But I like Mama Cass's rendition. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore trees. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. While I'm alone and blue and dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just say yes. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams and leave your worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just say yes. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams and leave your worries far behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Close your eyes and dream of me, and in our dreams together we'll be. We'll awaken to the sunrise, love shining brightly in our eyes. La da 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 da. Yeah, I just improv that last part because, you know, that's one of those songs that has like a 45-minute outro. It's like The Year of the Cat, Al Stewart's song, The Year of the Cat. Wonderful song. I love that song. But the intro to it is like, you know, again, half an hour before he starts singing. I love that song though. The other one he did too, Time Passages. That's a great song too. I gotta look, see if I can pull that off. Maybe, maybe not. This next, that's sort of a nighttime song with Dream a Little Dream of Me. This next one is also a nighttime song. Now this, I believe, was originally recorded by Sting. For all I know, he might have even written it. It definitely sounds like something that he would write. I know he recorded it, but my first exposure to it was via Vanessa Williams. And I love Vanessa Williams, and I believe this was on her third album called The Sweetest Days. And I thought this was just the sultriest song. And haven't sung this in a long time. Again, see if I can remember the words, but definitely Ms. Williams was at her sultry best on the song Sister Moon. Sister Moon, will you be my my guide. In your blue, blue shadows, I would hide. All good people asleep tonight. I'm all by myself in your silver light. I would gaze at your face the whole night through. I'd go out of my mind but for you. Out of my mind for you. Lying in another's arms, primal root of my hidden charms. I'm a stranger to the sun, my eyes are too weak. How cold is a heart when it's warm that it sees? You watch every night, you don't care what I do. I go out of my mind over you. I go out of my mind over you. My lover's eyes are nothing like the sun. My hunger for him explains everything I've done. To howl at the moon the whole night through, and you really don't care if I do. I go out my mind over you. Out of my mind. Sister, 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 I go out of my mind over you. Sister, sister, sister moon, sister moon, sister moon, sister moon, sister moon, I go out of my mind over you. Sister, sister, sister moon, out of my mind over you. Now can't you just see Vanessa Williams, long 1940s style microphone on a mic stand, single white spotlight, nice long slinky evening gown, crooning that to a darkened room full of folks. Sultriness at its best. She's actually been to the Valley 3 or 4 times here and performed, and I've never gotten to go see her. I've always been stuck at work or doing a show in the theater, or for whatever reason was unable to taking one of her performances. I believe she's on the slate again for the McCallum in 2021. Depending on whether there will be any shows at the McCallum or anywhere else in 2021, I hope there will be. Who knows, by then we may be watching all of our concerts via Zoom. That would be an interesting experience. This next song is one of those songs that I liked it the first time around, even though it was largely just kind of pop bubblegum. And the reason I liked it was because it was by Whitney Houston, and I'm a big Whitney Houston fan. Loved her work. Again, somebody whose life took some tragically bad turns, and we lost her at too young an age. But when she recorded this initially, it was on her first album, and as I said, it was fun. It was fun. It was kind of pop, kind of bubblegum. And then Sam Smith came along about, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, and totally turned the song on its head. And the first time I heard it, my friend Keisha D, who is an incredibly gifted, beautiful, incredibly gifted entertainer here in our local valley, such a presence. She walks into a room and it's just like everything lights up with this energy. I love you, Keisha D. And she sang this at one of her local gigs, and I approached her afterwards. It's like, Keisha, you've got to tell me whose arrangement is that? That is incredible. I said, oh, honey, that's Sam Smith. And so I immediately went in search of the track. Oh, it's you, I know, you're the one I dream of. Look into my eyes and you take me to the clouds above. Oh, I lose control, can't seem to get enough. When I wake from dream, tell me, is this really love? How will I know if you really love me? I say a prayer with every heartbeat. I fall in love whenever we meet. I'm asking you what you know about these things. How will I know if you're thinking of me? I try to phone, but I'm too shy and I can't speak. Falling in love, so bittersweet. This love is strong, why do I feel weak? Oh, wake me, I'm shaking, wish I had you near me now. Say there's no mistaking, what I feel is really love. How will I know? How will I know? How will I know? Tell me, how will I know? How will I know if you really love me? heartbeat. I fall in love whenever we meet. I'm asking you what you know about these things. How will I know if you're thinking of me? I write a phone too shy, can't speak. Falling in love, it's so bittersweet. This love is strong, why do I feel weak? Now, if you had never heard that arrangement before, and all you had heard was, how will I know? How will I know? Wow. Can you imagine how blown away I was the first time I heard that arrangement? Oh my God. And I love that. Sam Smith has a knack for doing that. And kind of a cool dude. Let's see what's... Oh, 2 more songs left in the barrel. This one, this first one that I'm going to grab my cheat sheet for, and the reason I'm grabbing my cheat sheet for this one is because this is one of those rare songs that was actually written by the original songwriter with 2 different sets of lyrics. The song was written by Bobby Caldwell, who I think I did one of his last time I did one of these Tunes and Talk sessions, What You Won't Do for Love. But Bobby Caldwell wrote this song with 1 set of lyrics, and it was recorded by Boz Scaggs. And I'm a huge Bobby Caldwell fan and a huge Boz Scaggs fan, and I've seen them both in concert, and tremendous experiences both times. Years later, Bobby recorded the song himself, and he changed up the lyrics a little bit, and I love both sets of lyrics, but I initially fell in love with the lyrics he wrote for Boz, and so that's what I'm going to stick with tonight. But whenever I sing it or hear it on the radio, because both versions are played on the radio, and so my mind sort of slides back and forth, and I have to think, okay, wait a sec, which one am I singing? Because if you sing like half the lyrics from one and half the lyrics from the other, they don't quite make sense. Anyway, God, I can't believe you all put up with all this rattling, rambling on that I do, but that's who I am. The song's called Heart of Mine. One day you may find true love that will last forever and ever. Till then, you'll spend a lifetime wishing one together. I never thought he'd say goodbye, and I'll never understand the reasons why. Heart of mine, how will you keep from dying? Stop reminiscing. Who is he kissing? Heart of mine, what's the use in trying? No one can mend you now. Love plays cruel games, you can't believe What's the use in trying? No one can mend you now. Heart of mine. Oh, heart of mine. Heart of mine. No one can mend you now. Great old song. You probably are sitting there thinking, I remember that song. Gosh, I had forgotten all about that. Got quite a bit of airplay, at least on the adult contemporary stations, which has been traditionally what I've cleaved to over the years. Adult contemporary, jazz or R&B. Occasionally I'll put on a classical music station. As most, if not all of you know, I'm a writer. I've written my first novel, published that, almost 3 years ago now. Working on my second novel and have written a number of plays. And I typically write to music. If you're an artist of any type, or if you know artists, maybe in your family or circle of friends, you probably come to find out that that's not that uncommon. A lot of artists like to write to music, paint to music, draw to music, sculpt, whatever. For me, I can write as long as it's good music, but I tend to prefer to write to instrumental, in particular smooth jazz. Give me some Dave Koz, some Dave Sanborn, a little Najee, George Howard, Eric Marienthal, Marion Meadows. Yeah, give me a little Candy Dulfer. That's good writing music. We have come to the last song for this Tunes and Talk session. And it is a song that was written by Ken Harper and Charlie Smalls for one of my definitely top 5, definitely top 6 favorite musicals. I don't have like my top 5 favorite musicals. I have my top 6 favorite musicals ever. And this is from The Wiz. And I had the great privilege of seeing it live on stage, national touring production in 1997 from a front row center seat. And of course the movie version that was released in 1978 is just beautiful and timeless, and I adore it. And I have never watched it without crying during the final scene. Absolutely turns me into a blubbering mess. And this is part of that scene. And unfortunately, there are two verses to this song. One that's actually sung in the stage show. Glinda sings it all. In the movie, Dorothy sings it once through, and then Glinda to her friends, Scarecrow and Tin Man and the Lion, and then Glinda sings it with the second verse to Dorothy. And unfortunately, this track only has it recorded to go through like one verse, or one set of lyrics. So I have to choose: do I sing Dorothy's lyrics or do I sing Glinda's? And maybe I'll find out, and you'll find out. You'll know when I know. And one more quick interesting story since I prattle and ramble. One of my personal heroes has always been Olympian Greg Louganis, and his biography, which is one of the most remarkable biographies you'll ever read, called Breaking the Surface. He talks about how he used to sing this in his head when he was walking out to the end of the diving board in the different Olympics competitions. And it must have worked because he brought home those silver and gold medals. If you believe within your heart, you'll know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time will come around when you'll say it's yours. Believe that you can go home. Believe you can float on air. Then click your heels 3 times if you believe. Then you'll be there. Believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the magic right there in your heart. Believe all these things, not because I told you to, but believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself as I believe in you, as I believe in you. Good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Believe in yourself, because I believe in you.